Good morning and happy Tuesday. He's back.
I'm back.
Yay.
I'm front, I'm sideways. I'm every which way but loose.
It's good to have you back. Hope you had a great week off.
I have decided that I never want to work another day in my life.
I can understand.
I don't. I love you all. But I would really rather just be back home right now.
And rich.
And rich.
Yeah.
Yes. However, because I'm not rich and I guess I have to show up.
Yes, you have to show up.
Nice to see you, though.
Oh, thank you very much.
Did you miss me?
Appreciate it. Oh, absolutely.
Liar.
No, we always miss you. Alex was awesome, though. Alex did a great job.
Alex is always fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm sick of him. He's perfect.
Super Alex. That's what I call him.
He can do everything.
He can do everything, that kid.
So, what'd you do while I was gone? Anything interesting? How'd you do your long weekend? You went?
Yeah, we went to Pancake Bay.
You went to the St. Mary's College cabin.
So awesome. So awesome.
Really,
Sat on the beach and got sunburnt.
Yeah.
Right, on my legs.
Wasn't cold for you out there on the beach?
Yeah, I had my hoodie on, but shorts. So I was all covered up with my hoodie on.
It was breezy, wasn't it?
Yeah, but so lovely.
Good.
So lovely.
Isn't it a nice location where they put the cabin?
Gosh,
right, you're like literally you walk across the little.
You feel like you're alone
on the beach.
You really do. Yeah, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous spot. But don't go there because I want to go back. I don't want you to book it at the same time. I want to say a huge thank you this morning to KC Security for sponsoring the show. Appreciate it, you guys.
While I was away, tragedy struck. Valerie Harper passed away on August the 31st.
Saturday.
I loved Rhoda.
I know. She was such a character, wasn't she?
There she's with a little scarf on her head. Remember that? 1970s.
Gosh.
So here's what I didn't know. She started off as a dancer.
Oh.
She was a little ballerina, little tap dancer.
Really?
In Rockland County, New York. And she ended up, she was in the Corps de Ballet at Radio City Music Hall when she was 16 years old. I know. And then she danced on Broadway in 1959.
What?
She was a chorus dancer on Broadway. She danced in Wildcat that starred Lucille Ball. Yeah.
Really?
Then she auditioned for, she didn't do a lot of other stuff, but then she auditioned for television. She won 3 Best Supporting Actresses for Rhoda, for Mary Tyler Moore, and 1 Best Actress for when she started her own show, Rhoda.
Show. Yeah.
Which, by the way, did you watch the show ever, Rhoda? Mm-hmm. Do you remember the hour-long special, Rhoda Gets Married? Remember that one?
No.
When she's running, she had to wear her wedding dress on the subway?
Yes, I do remember that.
You weren't the only one watching that. In 1974, on October the 28th, they had half the viewership of American television viewers. 52 million people tuned in to watch Rhoda Get Married.
Awesome. Well, that was her shtick, right? For so many years, she couldn't find a guy. And you know what's it's interesting?
Found Joe.
Yeah, she found Joe. I loved him.
Yeah.
It's interesting that she was a dancer because in my mind, she was never a really heavy person. But on the Mary Tyler Moore show, she always played that card. You know, like she's single and she's overweight. And I was thinking, you're overweight?
And she really was. But there was one season where she did come back and she lost a substantial amount of weight, and they talked about that.
Yeah, they did.
But so and then in 2000.
Did you see that headpiece on that wedding?
1986, she was diagnosed. No, 1986, she started the Valerie. It was called Valerie, and it was David Justin Bateman, and he played her son. But she went into contract negotiations. She wanted more money. And they said no. NBC, I think it was NBC, said no, and so she.
Stop.
No, they wrote her out. They killed her off. She wanted more money. She wouldn't come back to work. They refused to pay her more, and so they fired her and they wrote her off and said she was killed in a car accident. And the show was renamed The Hogans, and they brought Sandy Duncan into play.
Oh, I remember that now.
There's Sandy as her sister-in-law.
Oh my word!
She moved in and raised the kids with the Hogan family.
Oh my word! I totally remember that.
They killed her off, and she sued them for wrongful dismissal. They countersued her for libel, and they settled, and she didn't get a lot, but she won the case. Anyway,
she did. Wow.
Diagnosed with lung cancer first, survived lung cancer 2009, survived it. 2013, diagnosed with a rare form of brain cancer called leptomeningeal carcinomatosis, and she was given 3 months to live in 2013.
Look at her go.
She lived for 6 more years, and she said, you know what? I'm ready to go whenever. Like, I don't want to go. I'd like to live to 102, but there's, every day is a gift.
Right on. And she acted like that. She lived her life.
Yeah.
She really, and what an inspiring.
80 years old. 80.
Yeah, I had no idea.
That she was 80. Yeah.
I didn't know she was that old.
And that she and Mary Tyler Moore shared that in common, the dance thing. Someone just told me
Mary Tyler Moore looks like a dancer to me.
Do you know that she never took lunch breaks?
Really?
When they did the Mary Tyler Moore, she was diabetic, so she had a special meal that she could have, right? So when everybody else went to lunch on the Mary Tyler Moore show, on the studio, they'd roll in the mirrors, and Mary Tyler Moore's dance instructor would come in, and she'd take dance class for the hour that everybody else was eating.
Wow.
She would dance. They'd move it all out, she'd shower, she'd go back to work, and she'd have a snack in the afternoon.
Holy, that's
She
discipline,
left the show. Remember when she left the show at its peak? And everybody's like, why?
Yeah.
Because she wanted to pursue musical theater. She wanted to have a variety show, which she did, and it failed.
No.
So Mary Tyler Moore apparently never considered herself as a successful actress. She considered herself a failed dancer.
Really?
There you go.
Isn't that interesting?
There you go. That's my Mary Tyler Moore, Valerie Harper story.
Well, thank you for that information
You're
this
welcome.
morning. Certainly appreciate more information. Kevin Hart. Oh my
Accident.
word. Bad car accident. Apparently, he wasn't driving, but two other people and he were pinned in the car, and he went off the road. And look at that car.
Look at the car. It was a
Look at that
1970
Yes.
Plymouth Barracuda.
He bought it for himself for his 40th birthday.
So it was his car, but somebody else was driving
Yeah,
it?
somebody else was driving it.
Oh no.
But,
So
yeah.
they said
Ooh.
serious back injuries. But
Yes.
here's what I don't get. Serious back injuries, and yet he was released from hospital. He was sent home, and then after a couple of days he went back to the hospital and he had the surgery.
Right.
And they said he'll be released in a couple of days from the surgery. That doesn't
Right.
sound like serious
Well,
back
to
injury.
me,
Look at that, though.
back surgery is like intense
kind of back
enough,
surgery is
right?
back,
And
I
yeah,
guess.
exactly. So people get a little bit concerned about that. But nowadays, apparently, back surgery is just like, you know what? Like he said, he'll be in the hospital for a couple of days, and that's it. His wife reassured everybody
Yeah, his
that
wife
he
Twitter
was
said
fine.
he'll be fine.
Yeah,
Just
he's all
thanks
good.
for the thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, so good because, you know, like what a talented guy. Works out like a beast too, apparently.
Kevin Hart does?
Yes.
I just watched while I was on holidays. I'd heard from my niece and nephew, my great niece and nephew. They were over for a swim one day, and for some reason we talked about Jumanji.
Oh,
the
yes.
remake of it, not the Robin Williams
yeah.
one, the remake. Kevin Hart's in it. And they said, oh, Uncle Tim, you'll love it. And I watched it. No kidding.
Really?
Oh, it's hysterical.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah,
With
really
The
great.
Rock.
Yes!
Right?
So funny.
Yeah.
So well done.
The
I
Rock
enjoyed
tweeted
it.
a tweet to him hoping that, you know, we got lots of laughing left to do, brother, so take good care of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so very
good for them.
Yeah.
Great show today, Luann.
Yeah.
Before I went on holidays, I took a morning and I went to spend it with the folks at Arturos. So you're going to enjoy this so much. They cooked for us. Wait until you see how much fun we had at Arturos on today's show. Plus, Luann has the news. All that and more coming up on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
If you're struggling with thoughts of suicide, there is hope and there is help. You matter. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The calls are free and confidential. Call 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. You are not alone.
All right, good morning, welcome. Hi, are you usually here this early, Chris?
I'm usually not here at all.
Oh, that's Monday because you're, okay.
Yeah, this is,
Okay, this is Chris Comenia.
Perfect.
Did I say that right?
Lasagna?
Like lasagna.
Comenia.
Gnocchi
Comenia.
Comenia.
Yeah,
GN.
perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Arturo's restaurant. We're in the kitchen right now. Chris is the son of the legendary Arturo. Tell me a little bit, Chris, about when did your father open this business in the first place?
You know, I'm not exactly sure when he opened up the restaurant.
Yeah.
We're looking at 45, 50 years of restaurant industry work with my dad. So
Your dad's been in the restaurant business for 45 or 50 years.
yeah.
Where's your family from originally?
Our family's from Abruzzo.
Abruzzo in Italy.
Both mom and dad born there.
Yeah.
Me and my brother Thomas are first generation, and Luca. Shout out to Luca too.
Yeah.
We're all first generation Canadian Italians.
Do you know what year your parents came over?
My father came over in 1977, I believe.
Okay.
My mother came over in the late 50s, I believe, with my grandparents, with her parents.
So wait a minute, they're both from Abruzzo, but they met here in Sault Ste. Marie?
Yes. Yeah.
That's so romantical.
Yeah.
So what was his role in the restaurant business for the first 3 decades?
So I believe my dad started in the restaurant industry out of necessity.
Okay.
Just a place where you can work and eat.
Yeah. Okay.
We come from humble background. Mm-hmm. And I think he just stuck with it all the years. And he was a front of the house waiter.
Yeah.
Who paid attention to what happens in the kitchen. And that's where it went from there.
So then the day came when I guess your father said, okay, I'm going to pass this on. And he passed it on to you and to Tom? Or?
Yeah, he gave us the opportunity. I think we're 8 years ago.
Was that long?
Yeah, he gave us the opportunity 8 years ago to buy the restaurant and to do our own thing with it.
Had you and your brother been involved with the restaurant when your dad was the owner operator?
Yeah. So I started out serving tables.
Okay.
Waitering for about 12, 13 years. And that whole time I was in the kitchen as well, just prepping and watching my dad prepare food. And then it kind of sparked my interest of, I want to get into this, I think. Yeah. So I started going the culinary route. Yeah. And then
You studied, right? You went away to school and everything.
Yeah, so I studied in Italy first. No. And then I took the program at Sioux College as well here.
Yeah.
And I always plan my vacations around food. I always eat at good restaurants. Yeah. And I take little courses here and there to improve my skill.
Recently, you did a course in cheese making. Is this right? Tell me.
I took a course, fantastic course, natural cheese making.
Yeah.
So I stay away from all the GMO products, the chemicals, and
what's GMO stand for?
Like the genetically modified bacterias and all that sort of thing. I try to do a natural cheese making process.
Okay.
And I'm trying to give it to the customer now.
So you actually have in-house cheeses, and are you actually using some of those in-house cheeses right now today?
Yes, I'll be using 2 of the in-house cheeses that I have.
Which 2 do you use right now?
So I have fresh mozzarella.
Oh.
And some ricotta, slightly aged, creamy ricotta. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about aging.
Yeah.
He took me for a tour of the walk-in fridge. I am a huge meat lover. I love beef.
Yeah.
I love pork. I love lamb. I love veal. I love all of them. Yeah. You can't believe what's in his fridge right now. Tell the audience what you do with your beautiful AAA Canadian beef.
Yeah. So I start off with like a high-grade product.
Yeah.
And I just age it for about 60 days. Just a slight aging to...
He's got all these beautiful pieces of meat in the fridge aging 2 months.
Yeah. So I have some nice ribeyes on the bone still, some strip loins, and I do my fillets as well. Just to give that extra... You're just allowing the proteins to really break down and loosen up and become even more tender. And you're letting all the plasma, the water, come out of the protein, and you're left with tons of fat, good marbling, good fat.
Flavor, right?
Flavor. You're just left with flavor.
You're upping the flavor and reducing the stuff you don't want on a steak.
Exactly. Yeah. So when you order, if you order an 8-ounce fillet,
right?
My fillets don't shrink. So when you're cooking, you know how that fillet looks a little bit smaller. That
often you're right. I buy a fillet that's this big around and that thick, and when it's done, it's this and it's like this.
Exactly. So you're just losing water, and you're paying for water. So here. So what I'm doing is when I'm cutting a fillet or a ribeye or strip loin or whatever it is, you're getting the full portion.
And you butcher it all yourself here?
Clean it all myself, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Now, as far as the restaurant itself goes, your father retired, but then didn't.
Yeah, no comment.
He opened a competing business, for heaven's sakes, your father.
No, we do our own thing here, though. You do. We're different, right? It's my kitchen. It's my spin on it. It's what I do and what I'm comfortable with doing. And he does what he does up there.
Exactly. How much would you say of what you do in this kitchen is handed down to you from your father and mother?
Yeah, quite a bit. Like
you said, your mother does.
My mom's a fantastic chef in her own right as well. She's not a chef, but
can I ask what your mother's name is?
My mother's name's Anna.
Hi, Anna. You did good, Anna.
Love you, Mom. Yeah. No, but my dad's he's a restaurant guy. When it comes to cooking food, hot food, ordering, just preparing things, cost management. I learned those skills from him.
Yes.
He's a protein master. Seafood, lamb, just anything on the barbecue. He's the master at it.
Yeah.
So I took those skills from him. My mother, my grandparents, the peasants in the family, the farmers in the family, they're all about the fresh produce and the freshness. So I got the best of both worlds. And then we're lucky we're surrounded by really, really good cooks. I've grown up with fantastic food and food that was always prepared at home. Like from the bread to the homemade pasta, just everything, the broth.
You've carried that on here.
I try to, yeah.
So what about your suppliers? Do you try to stay as local as possible, or how does that work for you?
Yeah, well, I think that's the essence of Italian food. It's not spaghetti meatballs, it's not even about the cheese. It's about getting the best quality ingredients and making something with it. That's Italian food.
Yeah.
So I do try to stay local. I have Finley's Fungus, who brings me beautiful oyster mushrooms. They're fantastic.
They are.
Like I eat probably, if he brings me 10 pounds, I eat 5 of them.
Yeah.
I try to get, I've used Pinokian Hill Farm beef.
Yeah.
Fantastic product.
Yeah.
Local produce from the farmers markets and as much as I can.
Yeah.
As much as the season allows me. And my demands for certain things are a lot higher, so I do have to go outsource, but my beef's all Canadian beef.
Yeah.
Like the produce is as Ontario as it can be for the season, right? So I try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you now about the actual establishment here. You have what do you seat out front?
We seat on the main floor, around 50, 55 people. We have done up to 70 if we just put people in every little nook and cranny.
Now, here's what I didn't know. I did know that at one time there was an apartment upstairs.
Yeah.
Did your father turn that into an apartment or what?
20 years ago now.
Okay.
That was his home. Yeah.
However, now you've modified it into private dining areas.
Yeah, it's the nicest space you can imagine up there.
You said you're as busy up there as you are downstairs.
It's booked constantly for like wedding showers, baby showers, private functions, business
meetings.
Whatever. It's booked.
And
just to throw a party.
Yeah.
We're always busy up
I was talking to Tom. I hope I don't spill the beans. Wait, I'm going to whisper in your ear.
The potential future one, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so there's a balcony upstairs looking out of the back over the river. And I was up there because we shot a film here.
Yes, that's right.
My roommate's an escort.
Yeah.
So I was out on that balcony going, this is gorgeous. Now I find out you guys have plans hoping to...
Yeah, we definitely have plans to open up a nice rooftop patio.
A rooftop patio?
Yeah, so hopefully, fingers crossed, early next summer.
Wow.
We can get something happening up there, yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the good stuff here. Not that talking to you isn't great,
yeah.
but you're going to show me a couple little things. Here we got the peaches from,
Ontario peaches.
Ontario peaches, but where your family came from, Abruzzo?
Well, in Abruzzo, we grow a lot of produce. So like peaches are a big export from Abruzzo. It's
I don't
really
think of peaches as being an Italian thing. Isn't that funny?
they grow lots of them. I know. I read it. If you Google it.
Did you grill those?
So nice fresh Ontario peaches, just olive oil and on the grill.
Okay, what are we going to do with them?
So I'm gonna make a little antipasto.
This is what we're going to have before we eat.
Yeah, this is the before the pasta.
Yeah.
The anti-pasta.
Yeah.
We're gonna make. So I have some brisaola.
I never heard this word before.
So brisaola is a cured beef.
Okay. Is this something you do yourself?
No, this is actually not something I do, but I do get this from Paisanos, and they make a really nice product, and I love it. The customers love it. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Local.
It's just really simple. I'm just gonna assemble some of this beautiful meat around the plate.
And plating is a huge part of what makes a restaurant, fine dining or a restaurant like Arturos so special, because every plate is like a piece of art, right?
You want to eat with your eyes as well as your stomach and your mouth, and you just want to kind of create a nice picture, right? Nice painting. And this is really, really, really simple little dish. And the rewards are amazing because it's so tasty.
What's that dark lettuce is like a...
So I just made like a little mix, like Boston Bib and a little romaine, just a little endive, whatever I have that looks good. This is key to this dish, though. If you want to bring out the flavors of the brisaola, okay,
you've got a lemon.
Some lemon. It'll really pull out those flavors. And this has juniper. When you cure this, has juniper berries, garlic.
The beef is it's a beef, right?
Is cured.
Juniper berries is what they used to make gin.
100%, yeah. So it has a little. It doesn't taste anything like that, but it has it just permeates it.
Nice.
And it's a really nice flavor.
And the lemon brings that out.
Okay. Then I have some really nice Sicilian extra virgin olive oil here. Just over the meat.
Okay, look it.
Okay. And this is one of my cheeses that I make here.
Come on, you made this?
The ricotta.
But it's so nice and
Yeah,
firm.
it's nice and firm, but it's still creamy. See how nice and creamy it is?
Look
There you go.
that.
And then there's some grilled peaches around.
And the grilled peaches.
So a little sweetness, a little savory. So you can roll up every little piece of meat.
Is this on the menu?
It's not on the menu, but this is usually featured. I feature this quite often.
Okay.
Yeah, because stuff like this.
Every time you come in here, you're going to find that there's something on it that you're doing for that day that it isn't always there.
Exactly, and like just with like the Brussels, sometimes they're just not available.
Right.
But I'm probably going to endeavor. That's my next.
You're going to learn how to do it?
I got to learn how to do it. It's one of my favorites, and I think I can pull it off.
This is beautiful. And now, what's that?
It's a little bit aged balsamic vinegar. Okay, just a little bit.
Oh, look,
so
just a drizzle, eh?
Sweet, sour, salty, and then on the cheese.
Yeah.
The classic combination.
Honey?
Little fresh
Don't tell
honey.
me. Honey?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hey, do you do a chef's table ever? You know, like if I come in here with like 5 people and I say, hey, I've got $700. There's 5 of us. We want wine. We want you to choose the menu, and we want you to just create and serve us. Do you ever do that?
100%. Yeah, I'll do it for 1 person or 50 people. Just walk in and say, feed me. And I'll ask you what do you like, what don't you like, any allergies, any this, any that, and just let me be creative.
I like this. Feed me.
Yeah, and you know what? This is just one variety.
Yeah.
You know, the meat could be prosciutto, and it could be whatever cheese I made that day. Beautiful. It could be the burrata I make. It could be the
What's
mozzarella.
burrata?
Burrata is like a stretched mozzarella cheese.
Oh.
And it's stuffed with like a creme fraiche and more cheese curds. And then you just wrap it up. You have a beautiful little ball, and you just plop it on there, and you go to town. And it could be prosciutto. It could be a mixture of different meats. It could be a different fruit.
Do I get to taste this now?
100% you get to
Okay,
taste
well, no,
it.
we're not going to eat this on camera.
Yeah.
We're going to eat it off camera,
Okay.
and then we're going to come back because we have another segment where you're going to cook at the over at the stove.
Yes.
What do you call that?
The stovetop.
Stovetop. I was right. And talk a little bit more about Arturos here on Queen Street in downtown Sault Ste. Marie. Thanks, Chris. We'll be right back after this.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes.
Hi, can I take your order? Hello?
Oh, hey. Wait, what was the question?
Let me guess. 1 driving high combo, extra baked?
No. Could I get a burger with a side of fries?
Think you're a better driver when you're high? Think again. If you smoked weed, wait at least 4 hours before getting behind the wheel, or don't drive at all if you're new to it, have eaten it, or if you've mixed it with alcohol.
I'm salivating after watching that
Oh
first
my
segment
word.
with Chris at Arturos.
Imagine how much fun it would be to go in there and say, cook for me.
Cook for me.
Gosh, I'd love that.
Okay, well, we'll go sometime. You,
'Cause
me,
I'm
Jim, and
such a
Keith. Then we'll
foodie.
sit in one of the upstairs
Yeah.
rooms and we'll have a party.
I would love that.
And
That would be awesome.
I can't wait for the rooftop patio. I hope that opens by next season. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Oh, Michael Pence.
Michael Pence. Oh, Vice President.
So it's not bad enough that Trump says, oh, I can't go to Poland now because there's going to be a hurricane. So I can't go to Poland. Then the hurricane stalls over the Bahamas. So instead of going to Poland and instead of taking care of the hurricane, and he goes golfing.
Of course he does.
Okay, so now what's Pence doing? Pence went to Poland and now he's in Ireland, okay? Where is he staying in Ireland? He's staying at Trump's Doonbeg Golf Resort, 140 miles away from where he's meeting in Dublin. So Dublin is more like the east coast of Ireland. He's at County Clare, which is where the resort is, the golf course. That's where he's staying, and he's flying on Air Force 2 back and forth 140 miles for his meetings in Dublin, then going back to stay at the Trump Resort.
And guess who's paying for
But
that?
American taxpayers, are you stupid? Why is nobody doing anything about this?
I don't understand why nobody's calling them out.
Honestly.
I really don't
So today
get it.
he's having lunch with Karen, his wife, with the Prime Minister of Ireland, who's gay, and his partner. So the Prime Minister is Leo Varadkar. I also found out they don't call them the Prime Minister. They call them the Taoiseach. It's Gaelic. It's spelled Taoiseach. Gaelic is a weird language. Taoiseach. So that's how you say Prime Minister in Gaelic. Anyway, so him and his partner, Dr. Matthew Bennett, are having lunch with the Pences. And then people are saying, you see, Mike Pence isn't homophobic. He's having lunch with a gay Prime Minister.
Oh, how big of him.
Well,
my goodness.
you can still be a homophobe and sit down and have lunch with somebody if it's your
no
job.
Kidding. Photo op.
Anyway, he's over there in Ireland spending the American people's money staying at a Trump resort. How is that not lining the pockets of the president?
How is it not awesome to be Canadian?
Right.
Yeah, Simone Biles. Do you remember her?
Her brother's
Oh
charged
gosh,
with three counts of
murder.
Murder.
Yeah.
So she's this amazing. She did a
Gymnast, yeah.
She did a move just recently, had never ever been completed before, but in the history of
a quad something.
Something spinning.
She just
she's incredible.
She's still spinning.
She's incredible.
In the hallway.
What did her brother do? What did she say? I heard she said something.
Apparently on New Year's Eve, he was at a party in an Airbnb, and a group of people who weren't invited showed up.
Okay.
And something ensued, and blah blah
there
blah.
was gunfire.
3 people were killed, and he's been charged with murder. He is a former Marine.
Yeah.
They weren't raised together though.
Oh.
Because the mom had issues, so they were all in foster care.
Oh.
So Simone and her sister were eventually adopted by a great aunt.
Okay.
And he was adopted by a grandfather, or vice versa.
Okay.
And they grew up in different states, one in Texas and the other in Ohio.
Did she come out and say, because I just saw a little headline saying Simone, what's her last name?
Biles.
She breaks her silence.
Yeah, she just said that she feels terrible for everyone involved. Her condolences go to the family of the victims, and she feels horrible about it, and she hopes that people can give them some privacy while they're going through this.
Let's wait until the trial, I guess.
Yes,
oh,
absolutely.
man, an ex-Marine, too.
Oh, I know. So sad. And she's such a high achiever.
Hey, you have some local news coming up.
do.
I heard you talking about some local stuff going on.
I have some local news coming up.
And do you update us on the Bahamas?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Yes.
great. That's coming up right after this, right?
And that thing has stalled.
Oh,
it's hanging out.
I can't even imagine what that'd be like to stuck in the middle of a hurricane for days on end.
Days and days and days and days. We'll have those details coming up for you right after this.
Imagine knowing about incidents, closures, and roadwork all before starting your trip. Ontario 511 lets you know before you go. You can get real-time information directly from the Ministry of Transportation, because the more you know, the easier it is for you to go. And spend the time doing the things that matter most.
What do you wish for? A nice life? Nice things? Or do you wish for something more? A sense of purpose? Do you wish to discover a cure? To write code that cracks an unsolvable question? To further our exploration into space? Or to invent something that changes everything right here on Earth? Well, if that's your wish, make yourself ready. Because when you look back, you'll see that you didn't just make wishes, you realized them.
Sunny Spina supporters filled 109 Queen Street East on Friday as the Conservative candidate, joined by Durham MP and former Minister of Veterans Affairs, Aaron O'Toole, cut the ribbon to launch the opening of his campaign office. Spina said the three main issues he's heard with the current government are affordability, ethics, and the environment. ONNtv was there for the ribbon cutting.
You know, we recognize that over the past couple of months, I've had the chance to talk to literally thousands of people here in Sault Ste. Marie. And there's one thing I've learned, and it's one thing I know really well, is that each person has told me that they find life more unaffordable, that they're finding it more and more difficult to make ends meet.
Literally the last decade, there's been almost nobody in Sault Ste. Marie who's been involved in as many charitable causes, fundraising events. Not only does he wear a uniform of service, but he's got a heart that's all about Sault Ste. Marie. So it's the type of candidate we'd like to be the MP in Ottawa.
They're ready for a government that's going to live within its means, and they're ready for a government that is going to put money back in their pockets and make life more affordable for them. And that's what we're about, helping residents of Sault Ste. Marie and helping Canada get ahead.
You could probably start as late as 9 o'clock and still make it halfway by.
For the first time in 3 years, crowds at the annual Mackinac Bridge Walk grew, with an estimated 30,000 people shrugging off blustery weather to walk the mighty Mac yesterday. This was the third year that the bridge was closed to public traffic during the walk, and the second year of the event starting from both Mackinac City and St. Ignace. About 25,000 people participated in the walk each of the last 2 years.
Dorian is still stationary just to the north of Grand Bahama Island, about 30 miles to the northeast of Freeport. The maximum winds have decreased slightly to 120 miles per hour, but this does still keep Dorian as a major Category 3 hurricane.
Hurricane Dorian came to a catastrophic day-long halt over the northwest Bahamas, flooding the islands of Abaco and Grand Bahama with walls of water. The storm was reduced to a Category 3 early today, with top sustained winds of 120 miles per hour.
Even if the center was to stay just offshore, we still think there's a risk of hurricane-force winds and storm surge along the coast. For that reason, we do have a hurricane warning up to the east coast of Florida from Jupiter Inlet to Ponte Vedra Beach, and a hurricane watch north of there to South Santee River, South Carolina. Storm surge is also a concern, and we do have storm surge warning up from Lantana, Florida to the Savannah River, and a storm surge watch north of there also to South Santee River. So right now, pretty much the entire east central northeast coast of Florida, Georgia, and most of the South Carolina coast need to be aware of both the winds and surge over the next 36 hours.
Authorities say the gunman in a West Texas rampage was fired from his job and called police and the FBI before the mass shooting started.
I want to be clear, he showed up to work in a very distressed mental state, so it's not because he got fired. Right? This did not happen because he was fired, which other active shooters have occurred. When he showed up to work, he was already enraged. Before and after the DPS trooper was shot, there are phone calls from the subject.
While he was on the shooting rampage, he was calling 911?
Yes. He's called us before. It was, again, the rambling statements of someone who has some mental distress. He didn't threaten. He didn't say much to help us.
Come on, speak the truth. Why are you hiding? I'm not hiding. You're politically correct, man. What about Sharia, political Islam?
An Ontario legislator is racking up online praise for his response to Islamophobic remarks directed at him at Muslim Fest over the weekend. A video posted online and viewed more than 250,000 times shows NDP Guratan Singh, who represents the riding of Brampton East, responding to a man's anti-Muslim remarks at the event in Mississauga. In the video, Singh tells the man that he condemns racism. Singh, who is Sikh, tweeted that he will never respond to Islamophobia with, "I am not a Muslim." He says that instead, he will stand with Muslims and say that hate is wrong. Singh's brother is federal NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, who made headlines himself in 2017 for responding to a woman's racist diatribe by saying that he supported her rights but wouldn't be deterred by hatred.
Tough. I remember growing up not feeling like I had any safe spaces, and it's a tough feeling. And I know that for so many Canadians, this is a reality, that what happened to my brother yesterday is not a one-off incident. People, because of their gender, because of their sexuality, because of the color of their skin, because of their language, because of their religion, face that on a regular basis. And it is really hard. And I want to say to you, don't give up. Believe in who you are, be confident, be strong, but it's all our responsibility collectively to make sure you don't have to take this on your own.
Welcome to the Machine Shop, our historic venue and gathering place for friends and family. Built in 1899 on the site of a Northwest Company trading post. Today we are a go-to venue hosting many expos, concerts, weddings, and more. While you're here, choose one of our dining experiences. Enjoy a quiet dinner at the Mill Steakhouse and Wine Bar, watch a game and try wood fire oven pizza and local draft at the Boiler Room, or treat yourself every day to gelato and local coffee at the Gelato Mill. For more information on the Machine Shop, visit machineshopinc.ca.
So Orlando Bloom was on a radio show.
Is he still with Katy Perry or not?
Yes, they're engaged. I'll have you know.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So he was the announcer called on people to phone in with impersonations, and then Orlando Bloom would judge them. Kind of and say, oh, that was really good, or I could tell who that was.
Of Orlando Bloom or
no, just
anybody?
In general.
Okay.
Yeah, if you do an impersonation. So one person called up and sang very, very, very off-key one of Katy Perry's songs, which wouldn't be a surprise because they're engaged and stuff like that.
So someone's going to impersonate Katy Perry, yeah?
Yeah. And he was just like, Well, that's, I live with that voice, and that didn't sound, well, it was Katy Perry. She phoned up
as a joke
to bug him, and he didn't. So then she went on and on. She said, well, I don't know how we can take this walk down our future lives together when you can't even recognize your future wife on the phone. And yeah, it was very cute.
Funny.
She is. She's
I told you I was
funny.
at a party this weekend, right, on St. Joe's Island, and one of the guys there I met, he's from Florida, his name was Kirk, and Kirk met Katy Perry.
Oh!
I don't know how her name came up at the party.
Did you say how much you hate her?
I did. And
I find that so hard to believe.
And I did. We talked about it, and I was like, he said, oh, I don't like her as a musician either. I don't think she can sing, but she sure was nice.
Oh, God.
He said apparently that there was like a reaction to her being wherever she was, and the crowd and they knocked over his friend.
Ooh.
This guy, Kirk's friend, got knocked over by a crowd going to see Katy Perry, and she told everybody to stop. And she helped his friend up, and are you okay?
Good.
And then she chatted with him after, and then he said she was really, really nice.
Awesome. I like it when people like that are nice. Because it's not hard to be nice.
I don't think that, like I said, I find her amusing. I think that she's clever. I just don't think she's a great musician. And the guy said the same thing.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, you know how I feel about Taylor Swift?
Yes, we do.
Although, no, but I had a moment where I was like, I was her friend. Because,
Yes, you were her friend for a minute.
So is Demi Lovato. And don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. Apparently there was some sort of a pretend feud. It's not really a feud.
Oh, it's because it's two women who do the same thing, are in the same business, same age. They can't get along, right?
Well, it's also because of Scooter Braun. Scooter Braun is still the manager for Demi Lovato.
So that's.
And you know that Taylor Swift does not like Scooter Braun because he sold off her catalog of songs to that.
No, he bought
the catalog song.
Yeah, he bought the catalog.
Yeah, because it was Scott, somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so here's the story. The VMA Awards. What's her name? Demi Lovato puts a thing out saying, I had a reason, in capital letters, I had a reason for not going to the VMAs. Well, that, and I hate award shows.
Okay.
So everybody thought, oh, that was because she has a feud with that was because she was filming Will and Grace, which she's on next season. That's why she missed the VMAs. She sent out a congratulatory thing on Instagram saying, life's too short for women not to support other women, especially when women release great music. And then she congratulates Taylor Swift, and she took a picture of herself listening to Cruel Summer on her smartphone. And Taylor Swift tweets, put an Instagram back, thank you, Demi. There's no feud. Women get along.
Stop it. Just because women are women doesn't mean they can't get along with each other.
Right.
Lift each other up. Lift
up your bras. Support each other. I'm coming back with Arturos after this. Wait until you see the steak and ravioli. I'll tell you all about that after. Stay tuned in just a moment.
At 4:45, discover all kinds of treasures and never pay more than $5. Inventory is restocked every Saturday, and you can find anything from electronics to household items, toys, and much, much more. On Saturday, everything is $5, and the price goes down throughout the week, ending with 25 cents on Friday. We restock weekly with new items from various big box stores, so you never know what treasures you can find. Come visit us at 4:45, 2510 Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Have a great business idea but don't know where to start? Need help taking your business to the next level? C2C Business Services can be your guide in navigating the path of entrepreneurship, with services ranging from grant funding support, access to service experts, market information, and helping your business adopt new technologies to create and foster a culture of innovation for ongoing success. Call C2C Business Services and let them be your first step in taking your entrepreneurial dreams from concept to commerce. C2C Business Services is a division of the Sault Ste. Marie Innovation Center.
It's that time of year when you have to change your tires and put back in the trunk that infamous snow broom. But that's not all. To predict the unpredictable, Red Cross recommends that you have an emergency kit in your car all year round. Of course, that kit is going to help you and your family, but it could also help a driver that might be in difficulty on the side of the road. What does that emergency kit entail? You have to have a hand-cranked radio that can also transform into a flashlight. First aid kit, a blanket, and those infamous jumper cable. We also recommend that you have bottled water and an energy bar. You could change the bottled water every 6 months and the energy bar about every year. To have more information, just go to our website, redcross.ca.
We are back with Chris in the kitchen at Arturos restaurant here in downtown Sault Ste. Marie on Queen Street. Chris, you did some prep work already. You've already grilled some shrimp.
Yes.
What'd you season it with?
The shrimp are seasoned with a little salt, pepper, oregano, and tarragon.
And then you told me that the important thing about grilling a shrimp, the flavor comes from?
Just that you get that. You're just building on that a better base. You get that nice charred seafood sweetness.
If you grill the shell,
the sweetness comes out of the shell.
The sweetness comes out of the
shell is still on the shrimp.
Leave the shell on the shrimp when you cook it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're also doing a tenderloin.
Yeah, pan-fried beef tenderloin, little butter.
Tenderloin that's aged for 2 weeks in his fridge.
Yeah.
No, 2 months. 2 months. I forgot.
Little fresh herbs, whatever you have. I use rosemary and
yeah,
fresh
we saw
oregano.
that in the pan. Rosemary and
oregano, a little bit of butter,
and olive oil.
And I use grapeseed oil when I'm doing my high heat.
Grapeseed for high heat, because olive oil doesn't like high heat.
You change it into something that's just not healthy for you if you cook it at a high heat.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm learning so much from you. And then you're serving this along with the pasta.
I'm gonna do some braised beef ravioli, and I've developed like the flavors in the frying pan, butter, the beef drippings, and I'm gonna make a gorgonzola sauce and just slide some beef ravioli in there, just like beef overkill.
Okay. Right? So do you want to start doing something, and I'm gonna ask you questions as you go?
Yeah. So render down filet.
Yeah.
Butter, herbs, a little bit of gorgonzola, more butter. This is a real simple sauce, and it's all done in the same frying pan.
Yeah, which is where the flavor comes in. Oh, look!
Like, look, it's already
almost there.
I mean, this right here would be a good blue cheese topping for a steak.
Yeah, or like asparagus or something too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mushrooms.
Hey, okay, so your father, this restaurant's been here between you and your dad having this place. It's been here for a long time. What do you think it is? What's the secret to having the longevity of a restaurant in Sault Ste. Marie? Because this is a small town. People might get tired of a place, but they don't get tired of this place.
No, 100%. We just got to keep things fresh.
Yeah.
Kind of stay with the times. You don't want to you don't want to age yourself. Mm-hmm. You want to pay attention to the trends out there.
Yeah.
But I think the number one key would be consistency.
Yeah.
How you treat people when they walk in the door. Just respect that you're going to use good ingredients. So when I tell you, hey, Tim, have the steak, it's out of this world, I'm not lying to you. I'm actually going to give you something. I'm going to deliver on something that I promised you. And it's consistency of the whole thing.
I brought you news you did not know about, that you are ranked #1 in Sault Ste. Marie out of how many restaurants, Alex, did you say? 143 restaurants. You are, 140 restaurants. Arturos is ranked #1 on TripAdvisor. Surprise!
Yeah, I know. I always I don't pay attention to those things
because you focus on the work and the quality.
Yeah, and I just focus on what I'm doing. I try not to care about what not care, but I just want to do what I'm doing. I don't want to think about what other people are doing. That's what they're doing.
So the competition aspect of it is not what you're interested in.
Not at all. I compete against myself.
Lovely. Well said. Okay. Oh, look at your sauce.
The sauce is ready.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna.
Where do you get those raviolis?
We make these raviolis.
You do not.
Yeah, these are beef raviolis. With all the trimmings, I have tons of trimmings left with my with all the beef I have.
The beef that you what do you call yourself? You butcher yourself.
Our bolognese is made with all the beef from my trimmings.
Your bolognese sauce?
The bolognese sauce is 100%. So when you're eating a bolognese sauce here, you're having actually filet mignon, strip loin, and ribeye meat, a little bit of pork, veal. So you're getting a lot of yeah.
And
we make our own broth.
You were talking. Okay, so I saw you getting the broth out here. What are you going to use that for? This broth right over here. Do you need this? Should I bring it over here?
Yeah.
There's your broth.
So
you tell me how you do your broth.
That's it right there.
That's your
Done.
that's
That
your
dish is
cheese
done.
and steak.
You can cook a little bit longer, thicken it up. I can add some Asiago cheese, Parmesan cheese, and it's done.
It's done.
Yeah.
What do you use the broth for?
The broth.
Oh, the shrimp.
The shrimp dish. But I'm gonna build a little bit of more flavor here.
Okay.
Caper berries.
Some people think that capers are seafood. I was saying it's not true. Capers are the bud of a Mediterranean bush.
That's it.
What was that other thing? Garlic.
Garlic, and so chopped garlic. I have this. I have this stuff here at all times.
At all times.
But it's chopped garlic.
Those are staples.
Yeah, fresh green onions, scallions, and some capers.
Interesting. Fresh green onions and scallions, two different things.
And then we're just gonna crank the heat up on this.
Scallions have a different flavor than green onions, don't they?
Yeah, they have almost like a little bit more chlorophyll.
Yeah.
The nice fresh chlorophyll. I made that word up, I think. But just a little more freshness, a little more aromatic to it, right?
Now tell me can you tell me the story again about the your broth? Tell us how you do your broth.
Big pot. So giant pot. I'm actually not sure how many liters I make. I do 12 chickens, whole chickens, and I let it go for 3 to 4 days, and it reduces by half, and you have this really rich. Like the broth that I make is a sauce in itself. You could just put that over pasta or rice, and it's already good to go. Yeah, a little bit of butter, olive oil, and you're off to the races there.
And this one's gonna be fun because you told me we're gonna do a flambé.
Yeah, we're just gonna make a little Pernod sauce. It's a French liqueur, anise liqueur.
Anise, like a little licoricey.
A little bit of licorice taste, but it smells licoricey. But once you cook off the alcohol, it's really has a nice sweetness to it. Yeah, it's a really nice sweetness to it.
Okay, so I need to stand back.
Not really.
I trimmed my eyebrows this morning, so
I shaved today.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay,
for this moment.
Oh, feel the heat.
Yeah. So a little bit of Pernod, or a lot of it.
Yeah.
And then I cut it with a little bit of white wine.
White wine.
Yeah.
These shrimp are happy.
They're very happy shrimp. And then a little bit of lemon.
Oh yeah, get your lemon from your staple area there.
This dish doesn't take. If you don't put lemon in it, it's not almost not edible. With the lemon, it really balances the alcohol of the Pernod.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we're gonna make it just a little dash of cream.
Cream.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And a little bit of my broth. Now you could make this a lot heavier with the cream and then place it over some noodles. We do a more creamy Pernod sauce.
Right.
And we'll add some butternut squash ravioli to it, or we'll add pappardelle pasta, whatever you want.
Would you say there's a signature dish at Arturos that people go, oh, this is it? Like this is the
signature dish would be our scallops and spinach.
Yeah.
The pan-seared scallops, pan-fried spinach.
I'm drooling right now.
Parmesan cheese.
Yeah.
Geez, you know what?
There's so many.
I sell more of the things I don't have on the menu. My features are the things I have no meat on my menu. My menu has a fillet on it, but we sell tons of steaks here.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Yeah, and we have no fish on the menu.
And yet,
I sell tons of fish because I only bring in fresh fish, and when it's gone, and I move on to the next variety. So I'll bring a halibut in, I clean the whole fish up, I sell it, and then I move on to salmon, or sea bass, or whitefish locally, whatever I can get my hands on.
Once again, that changing it up, keeping it interesting for your clients who come back time and again because they know there's always going to be stuff on the menu that they love, and then other things that they can always choose from that are new.
And you have to for myself as well. I have to do it. I always have to play, otherwise I'll go crazy.
What days are you closed?
Sunday, Mondays.
So Tuesday through Saturday.
We open at 5 and close till everybody's done.
Till everybody's done.
Till everybody's gone. Yeah.
You suggest reservations because
so it's a small dining room. When it fills up out of nowhere.
Right.
So I always suggest calling for reservation.
Yeah, that's always a good idea.
Yeah.
So you won't be disappointed. Yeah. Now I'm going to let you plate this stuff, and we'll go in the dining room to say goodbye. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
We'll be right back in the dining room. Chris, we're actually in the dining room now. This beautiful view out here, nice big window. And also, I love all the pictures in the lobby. Is that family?
It's all family, yeah.
Beautiful.
I harass my family members for old black and whites.
So I see there's some new ones here. Whose kids are these behind you?
These are just a couple of my children. These are my 2 middle daughters. I have 4 children, so I just have to make some more space. I need a bigger wall.
How about here's to family and tradition. Chin chin. Bon appetito. We're signing off from Arturos on Queen Street. I want to thank you so much for coming in on your day off and preparing this beautiful feast that I cannot stay to eat. I'm going to sample some, but we could feed 6 people with this, mister.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks again. It's Chris Comenya. Who cares what his last name is? Just Arturos is all you need to know, folks. Here we go. Limoncello. Good, eh? Yeah. Bon appetito.
Housed in a 15,000 square foot custom manufacturing facility built to produce world-class cabinetry at surprisingly affordable prices, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry brings your project from initial concept to final design. Proudly providing Northern Michigan and the Algoma region with quality hand-built cabinetry for the past 20 years. Located at 844 East 3 Mile Road, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry, making your cabinetry dreams come true.
At Maitland Ford Lincoln, we see our trucks everywhere. We see them on Queen Street, Lake Street, North Street, Bay Street, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, Pine Street, Great Northern Peoples Road, Wellington, Cora Road, Bruce Street, Carmen's Way, Northern Ave, Trunk Road. Folks come from all over Algoma District and beyond to buy their truck at Maitland Ford Lincoln. Amazing prices, outstanding service. King Street, Shannon Road, Goulet Bay, Black Road, Government Road, and even on Pine Shores. Yep, our trucks are everywhere. Get yours at Maitland Ford Lincoln, built for Northern life, on Great Northern Road, just north of the hospital.
The steak,
Okay,
the
so
ravioli.
they're
Oh,
open
my
tonight. I might just go to Arturos for dinner tonight. Now that they're
seriously,
I'm drooling. The steak
you know what? It's interesting though to know that the stuff that's on his menu is generally not what sells. His features sell. So always make sure you find out about that.
Super nice guy, and his brother
oh my
Tom,
God, so
just
easy.
so nice. And then of course the father. You know, typical hardworking Italian family. He couldn't retire. His father has the other restaurant now too.
Yeah,
they're a great family.
Awesome family, and the staff, the service people are phenomenal there as well.
That's true. Hey, so now let's go eat, Lou.
Okay, let's go eat,
and we'll come back tomorrow morning.
Okay, see you then.
We'll see you then on Mornings with Luann and Tim. Bye for now.
And ain't been high since. I'm on the fence, shorty tryna send a rinse, but how I'm gon' get caught when I don't even got brakes? You don't gotta lose a top, you don't even got hits. All rain and this baby bus driver don't glimpse. I'm rolling. You would think my whip was stolen. In my past life, I hit up all that in your pool, and I'm soaring like I hit a beat high with a Boeing 737 with my arms to the heavens like drop zone to the block's gone. Can't you tell we ran up out of options? This ain't a cry group, tell the entire truth and let us set you free. We undeniable. We undeniable. We undeniable. We undeniable. This ain't a cry group, tell the entire truth and let us set you free. We undeniable. We undeniable. Tell the entire truth and let us set you free. We undeniable. We undeniable.